Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland.
On January 4th, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen publicly urged the US president to stop threatening to take over Greenland, saying such rhetoric is unacceptable between allies. Frederiksen criticized Trump after he declared that the United States absolutely needs Greenland, reviving a controversy that has long irritated Copenhagen. Trump reiterated his desire for the US to annex Greenland in an interview with The Atlantic on January 4th, insisting the island should be brought under full American control. He told the magazine, "We do need Greenland, absolutely. We need it for defense," underscoring its value in U.S. strategic planning. Trump also talked up Greenland's strategic importance when pressed by reporters the same day, pointing to its location and existing military infrastructure.
On Greenland,
On Greenland now?
yeah, on Greenland.
How did we come up to Greenland?
So, do you expect to take an action against Greenland?
Well, I don't want to talk about Greenland. Let's talk about Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine, and we'll worry about Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
On Venezuela, we talked so much about energy.
By the way, I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you. You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true. They thought that was a great move.
What would the justification be for a claim to Greenland?
Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenland now. I just say this. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And the European Union needs us to have it, and they know that.
In parallel, the wife of Trump's deputy chief of staff posted an image online showing a map of Greenland covered entirely in the US flag, fueling anger in Denmark. Denmark's prime minister issued a formal statement describing Trump's demand as disrespectful toward her country and dismissing any notion of a forced change in sovereignty. Mette Frederiksen said, quote, "I have to say this very directly to the United States. It makes absolutely no sense to talk about the United States needing to take over Greenland. The US has no right to annex one of the 3 countries in the Danish kingdom. The Kingdom of Denmark, and thus Greenland, is part of NATO and is therefore covered by the alliance's security guarantee. We already have a defense agreement between the Kingdom and the United States today that gives the United States wide access to Greenland. And we, on the part of the Kingdom, have invested significantly in security in the Arctic. I would therefore strongly urge the United States to stop the threats against a historically close ally and against another country and another people who have very clearly said that they are not for sale. We have been a close and loyal friend of the United States for generations. We have stood shoulder to shoulder in difficult times. We have taken responsibility for the security of the North Atlantic and not least of North America. That's what real friends do. This is precisely why the immediate and repeated rhetoric from the United States is completely and utterly unacceptable. When the President of the United States talks about "we need Greenland" and connects us with Venezuela and military intervention, it's not just wrong. It is disrespectful. Our country is not an object of superpower rhetoric. We are a people, a country, a democracy. This has to be respected, especially by close and loyal friends. We are a part of NATO and we are fully aware of our country's strategic location. In this regard, a respectful and loyal relationship with the United States is very important. It's been that way for decades. We are open to conversations. But it has to be through the right channels and with respect to international law. And the right channels are not random and disrespectful posts on social media. Trump's latest remarks came just one day after U.S. forces captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife in a dramatic military operation. The Venezuelan leader and Cilia Flores are now set to face trial on U.S. soil on narco-terrorism charges, following their transfer to the United States. Trump has suggested that the U.S. will effectively govern Venezuela after the January 3rd intervention, raising fears in other countries about Washington's ambitions. That prospect has sparked concern in Denmark that similar unilateral moves could be attempted in Greenland, despite its existing defense ties with the United States. Greenland already hosts both Danish and American military bases, but Trump has signaled he wants full control rather than shared arrangements. The island's strategic position between Europe and North America makes it a key site for U.S. early warning, Arctic operations, and broader defense planning. Greenland's significant mineral and rare earth wealth is also seen in Washington as crucial for reducing dependence on Chinese supply chains. Although Greenland is a former Danish colony, it enjoys extensive self-rule and the right to declare independence under a 2009 autonomy agreement. However, the territory still relies heavily on annual financial support from Denmark, as highlighted by international reporting. Trump had floated the idea of taking over Greenland even before returning to the White House, and his renewed comments are reigniting tensions with Copenhagen.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.